Okay, hey guys. So it is officially March 2nd, 2016. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and I know that because spinning day is tomorrow and the next spinning day is on Thursday. You'll notice I'm a bit different coat today because it has gotten cold again. The one thing that I dislike about Baltimore, or the Maryland area as far as weather is concerned, is it's just not very consistent as far as weather goes. You know, it's not like one of those things where winter is warm or cold. It can be warm one day and then ass cold the next. So it was like 68, 69 like 2 days ago, and now it's like 38. That's one of my biggest problems with this area is like during the winter, it's like if it's gonna be cold, be cold. And if it's gonna be warm, be warm. But like we're in the house, and the house is actually pretty warm compared to what it was. But since it's not like 70 degrees inside the house now feels cold. And that's a problem. It's just kind of like assimilating to the weather here in Maryland can really suck. But anyways, it's a bit windy day today, at least down here while we're walking through the woods. It should be okay. I'm not sure how it'll be once we get into a little bit more open area. But I guess, as I say, we will see how it goes. As far as weight is concerned, for the Geek Diet, I'm still around that 202 weight area. You know, not great, not horrible either. Not going up, not going down yet. But again, I lost like 7 pounds last week, or 6 pounds last week. So it's probably healthy. That's plateaued a little bit. Went out, did the workout again this morning. So this is my 3rd day in a row of exercising, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting out to the gym. And so yeah, Monday did the strength training for about 30 some odd minutes. Then yesterday I did spinning for an hour. Today I did strength training. I do feel like this is the second week, and I'm starting to get to that fatigue point. So I'm debating whether or not to do spinning tomorrow. I really would like to. Again, I know spinning sounds goofy as hell as far as exercise, but that stuff is good. That's some good exercise right there. But so I'm not sure. I may take tomorrow off, or I may take the next day. I'm definitely kind of getting to that point where maybe I'm a little tired. And again, the big thing is don't burn yourself out. The minute you give up is the minute you're done. Remember, as I say, you can never fail. You can give up. If you give up, giving up is not failing, right? So we'll see. Maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. But I've gotten really used to this whole waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning thing. And the good thing that I'm finding with waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning is I have a slight thing with insomnia. I'm not really sure it's insomnia, but a lot of times I'll wake up really early in the morning. And here's the funny thing. The difference between a sleep disorder and being like motivated or whatever. See, if you think you're supposed to wake up at 6 or 6:30 and you wake up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, then you have a sleep disorder because you're waking up too early in the morning. On the other hand, if you decide to go to the gym at like 5:30 in the morning and you wake up at somewhere between 4 to 5 in the morning, then you're just waking up early to go to the gym. You see, it's all perspective here. It's so much of like the difference between dysfunction and discipline is more about perspective than anything else, right? So that's one good thing with going out at 5 o'clock in the morning, because a lot of times I'll wake up early and I'll be like, oh, I'm woken up early. Now I get to wake up early and go, oh, well, guess I gotta get ready to go and exercise. So overall, that is doing good. Like I said, getting a little tired now. But no big deal, I'm getting a little tired now. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is hashtag movements. Hashtag movements, whether they are on Twitter or on YouTube. So one of the commenters yesterday on the Fail Normal vlog, Goose something or other, I don't know, Goose something, I don't know. He did a video. He was talking about the whole hashtag movement and all that, and his opinion on the hashtag movement. And a couple of things came up in the video about these hashtag movements. And now the first thing that I want to talk about, as far as these hashtag movements go, is please understand, us large content creators don't give two craps about the small content creators. That's one of the things he brought up in the video. And it's really kind of sad that this has to get reiterated 1,000 times, because every time I say it, I just come off as slightly more of an asshole. But hey, that's what I get paid for, right? But it's really true. Like, there's this whole idea, and I've seen this a lot with the smaller YouTubers, is they see this whole, you know, where's the fair use movement? And then they're like, I need help. And I've gotten a lot of people like say that to me. And again, they've got like 100 subscribers or 50 subscribers. And I need help. And here's the deal. I don't care about like YouTube channels in general. Now, to understand when I say this does not mean I don't care about anybody. Because a lot of times when I say I don't care about small YouTube channels, what people think is that I don't care about anybody, any small YouTube channels, and that's not the case. I just don't care about small YouTube channels in general. If you say I'm a small YouTube channel, Eli, I need help, I don't care. But it doesn't mean I don't care about anybody. Again, like Louis Rossmann. Here's the deal. If Louis Rossmann had an issue with YouTube and he said, Eli, I need some help, I would in a heartbeat contact my partner manager and say, Louis Rossmann is having issues, help this motherfucker. Help this motherfucker, or I'm gonna be me. And my partner manager would go like, God damn it, Eli, will you shut up for a second? And right, so Louis Rossmann had an issue at Big Nate 84. I actually had a Skype meeting today with Big Nate 84, but Big Nate 84, he has a small channel, 7,000 subscribers, not huge, 7,000 subscribers, but he's followed me for like 3 years. Big Nate 84 had a real problem, and he was like, Eli, I need some help. Again, I would use my Rolodex, however unimpressive my Rolodex really is, to try to get him some help. You know that goose guy? I was watching that goose guy. Oh, it is windy. It is. Where's that microphone? There we go. Let me see if I do that. Holy crap, it's windy. Maybe we'll go back in the woods. We will go back in the woods, and we'll just go around about. That is windy, 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 windy. Anyways, if that goose guy needed help, and he gets a few more subscribers, he doesn't have any subscribers right now, I'd probably help him out. Once the goose guy realizes that YouTube is a video format. Because it is funny, I was watching this guy's video yesterday, and like, I swear to you, like 80% of it is a black screen. And then even the rest of it is a lot of text. And you're like, dude, like, I hate to point anything out. I mean, far be it from Eli the computer guy to critique anybody, but YouTube is a visual format. I'm just saying, right? But if he needed help, see, it seems like he has a good voice. He looks like he's trying to create some good content. So I'd probably help him out to a little degree. I'm not sure. I wouldn't like do the full force of my partner manager. It's not like I'd be like I say, like Louis Rossmann, I'd help him out. Like the goose guy, I'd be like, I'll swing it by the partner manager. If he does something, he does something. If not, no. But right, you know, so that's one thing to be realizing. Like there's this whole idea, like this whole like solidarity thing. Like we content creators are in this together. Guys, anybody who thinks that, go to hell. Right? My peers are barnacles. My peers, not even Chris Prillo anymore. Lamar Wilson is a peer. Grade A would cringe. My peer would be like Tyrone Magnus size, right? You know, these are the people that are my peers. Because just because you created a YouTube channel, and just because you put up 10 videos, and just because a couple of people randomly subscribe to your channel, does not mean we're peers. It's like, I've been doing this crap for 6.5 years. I have literally invested more money in this venture than most content creators will ever earn exponentially. You know what I'm saying? Like a single one, I mean, again, you just got to think about it. Like that one camera that I talk into for my videos was like $1,500, and that's like the fourth semi-pro camera I've had. I mean, I have spent like over $10,000 in cameras. So when I think about my peers, I think about, you know, the people that are really in there. They're in it to win it, as they say, right? And say if you're just a random schmuck with, you know, 1,000 or less subscribers, and you're doing your thing, again, you know, I may or may not, if you email me or whatever, I may or may not answer a question. If you do a Skype meeting with me, well, I'll definitely answer your question then, because that's what the hell you're paying for. But like in general, like this whole idea of like solidarity is just a bunch of crap. So please understand that, because I think a lot of like the little YouTube content creators have really gotten confused with what's going on. Again, they see a channel awesome, and they see all these big channels, and then they think, we're in it together. You know what I'm saying? It's like the professional team, you know, hanging out with the little league players, and the little league players are like, we're in it together. And you're like, well, I mean, you're playing baseball. I mean, I will give it to you. You're playing baseball. But It's not quite the same thing. And so that's just something just to think about with any of these kind of movements, is to just kind of understand where your place and all that is in them. Because I see a lot of people get sad. I see a lot of people get depressed. They feel like, I'm in it with you guys. And then like when the bigger YouTubers don't respond, people feel all heartbroken. And I'll tell you what, I mean, like I say, I'm not a popular guy, and I piss off my subscribers to a great degree. And I still get far more emails and communications than I can even deal with in a day. I mean, just my question and answers. Like when people email questions, I mean, I'm backed up like 500 questions, right? It's just impossible to get to. So one thing with all these hashtag movements is one of the things you have to think about is, where do you actually fall into the movement? Are you a player, or just kind of one of these random schmucks? And it is important to understand. Because, yeah, we aren't trying to fix the entire system. We are trying to fix the system for people somewhere around our category. And that's because, again, you only got so much time in the day. You've only got so much energy. And I only have, and that's one thing like a lot of the noobs don't understand, is I only have so much clout, right? You know, the clout, that old website, KLOUT, where it would like measure your clout, measure your reputation. And here's the thing, right? I will say, you know, I punch higher than my weight class. I do actually have far more significance than I should for the stats that I have. But there's a limit. There is a huge limit to that, right? I mean, I have the ability to get done what I need done because I'm willing to proverbially punch a lot of people in the nutsack. But there's only so much of that you can do, right? You know, it's like if I fight for myself, the people that I'm dealing with will understand that I'm fighting for myself. And at a certain point, they'll back down. Because again, I make YouTube money. YouTube makes me money. It is a business relationship. And they know if people like me start walking, who make as much money for them as I do, that's going to be bad for the stock. I mean, the shareholders. Remember, they're still a publicly traded company. So if I get onto Wall Street Journal, if I start talking about this and I start saying, listen, I bring YouTube over $50,000 a year, and they literally did not care if I walked away. All I needed was a little bit of personal attention, just a little bit of personal attention. That should be normal in any business practice. And they refused to do that. That's not gonna look good for the stock. That's the type of thing where stock owners, shareholders, are gonna start thinking, is Alphabet, is Google really that good of a company? All right, so this is one of those things you gotta think about. They think about their paychecks, they think about their quotas, they think about all this stuff. So for me, I can go in there, I can bust some ball sacks. Again, like I say, if I go in there and there's people that I truly respect, again, Louis Rossman or Big Nate 84, a couple of other people, and they're getting screwed around, I can go in there and I can use my clout a little bit. You know, I got a few chits there. I got some clout. I can say, look, motherfucker, these guys are going to be the next me. These guys are going to be the next me. So if you don't want 50 grand, over 50 grand, to walk out the door with me, then why are you going to piss off other people that at some point will be worth that? That doesn't make a fucking bit, right? You want me to tell the world that? Fuck you, Eli, right? So again, I can put my clout down. On the other hand, if I walk in there, there's some YouTuber with freaking 10 subscribers and 20 half-ass videos, and I go, you guys need to deal with this person. They're gonna look at me and go, you know what, Eli? You ain't worth it. What? They're like, no. Yeah, I know you bring us money. And yeah, I know you're a loudmouth. But you know what? You're just not worth the time to deal with. And then everything goes out the window, right? And that's what a lot of the little folks don't understand, is there's just not enough value in doing much to defend you guys. Because all of us, you know, whether it's me, whether it's Linus, whether it's PewDiePie. PewDiePie has a huge amount of clout, obviously. 45 million subscribers, millions of dollars. But even with him, there's only gotta be a limit. There's only a limit that people deal with. And so what a lot of these small channels just have to realize is, if you really want support, you really want help, you really have to band together with your peer group, your class of people. Again, like back in the day, I used to talk a lot about Craig Chamberlain, because he was more around my size. He's still around the size that I used to be. We had a falling out. Never mind. But anyways, like, you know, as I grew up, you know, there were different people that I looked up to. There were different people I looked for mentorship. And you just spin up and up and up and up. But you have to realize just what your weight class is. If you have 100 subs and a few videos, you're not in our category. You're not in that category. Don't care, right? So that's the first thing, right? That's the first thing with all these social movement hashtags. One of the things you do have to just think about is, you know, where are you? Are you an observer or actually part of the movement? Again, Channel Awesome, whatever you think about Channel Awesome, I hate everything, right? Is a different category. It's a different world. And so one thing too is if you want to be part of the movement, because they see a lot of people like that, and they just want to be hangers on. They just want to be like, yeah, I retweeted a hashtag or whatever. One of the things you have to think about is if you are 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers and you want to be significant, think about how you're going to be significant. I do not care if you retweet. Retweeting one of my tweets or whatever really is valueless. It's worth like half a cent. It just doesn't matter that much. I know everybody thinks, oh, I'm a subscriber. Right? So one of the things you have to think about is what can you bring to the table? What do you think you can bring to the table? Do you have contacts at Google? Do you have contacts at a webzine? So like GeekWire, right? So GeekWire is a webzine out of Seattle. So if there are problems occurring, can you go to, do you know a writer at GeekWire that would be willing to write about it, right? Or are you able to write about it? You know, again, if you want to be a player, one of the things to think about is how can you add to the cause? So writing posts and contacting GeekWire, contacting TechCrunch, contacting VentureBeat, contacting any of these places, and then writing about what we're going through, now you're adding something to significance. You're part of the battle then. Again, retweeting, fuck yeah, anybody can retweet, right? And so there's that big thing with the hashtag movement, as a lot of people just don't quite get, because they all feel like they're in it. You know, I know. I know all the other content creators, they're like, I love you all. I love each and every one of you. It's like, that's a bunch of crap. I've got like 654,000 subscribers right now. There is no way in hell I could love each and every one of you, even if I wanted to. And believe me, I don't want to. So first thing with the hashtag movement, just so that's kind of out of the way. The next thing with the hashtag movement is the question is does it really do anything? So you know, this whole make YouTube great again, the whole WTFU, where's the fair use? You know, are we just pissing into the wind, whistling into the wind, or is it doing something significant? Now, this is a big question to be asking, because a lot of people nowadays, you know, they sign online petitions, you know, again, they retweet, they hashtag, and then they feel like they're doing something. And the question is are these movements actually significant? And what I would argue is that they can be significant, but again, not in the ways that you're thinking, and not for the reasons that you're thinking. So like Susan Wojcicki, however the hell you said her name, with this whole where's the fair use thing, they came out with like this one paragraph, complete BS crap comment about the whole thing, saying we will strive to do better. And believe me, that did not make me feel a damn bit better. Susan Wojcicki is watching this. That was almost worse. That was like getting patted on the head. And so you're thinking, okay, well, this whole outcry, this whole hashtag movement, we get patted on the head. Obviously it failed. Well, what I would argue is, again, if it gets traction in the right way, it can actually make a lot of changes. And so with this hashtag movement, what's going on behind the scenes, what a lot of people, a lot of users and subscribers don't see, is a lot of us are talking about this. So again, the content creators, we know each other. We don't know everybody, but we know our own little groups. And so we are actually talking about this more and more. And the question then becomes, what are we going to do about it? Because really that's it at the end of the day. Remember, business negotiations are what is required before I walk. You know, I need so much money or I will go find another job. As I said when I did the leaving YouTube video, I need communication with YouTube or I'm going to leave, right? You know, the point is where I walk. And so with all of us talking, what I would argue is what's going on behind the scenes is there's this idea that's coalescing that YouTube really and truly is not providing what we need, right? There's one thing about bitching and moaning and complaining, and I know I do a lot of it. You know, there's that again, there's pissing into the wind as far as complaining is concerned. You know, we complain, but is it really bad enough to do anything about it? And what I would argue now with a lot of this stuff is what we're realizing is, yeah, you know, it really is getting to the point that, like, you know, for me, finding other ways to make money and simply not relying on YouTube is really something to be thinking about. And as we all talk about this, there's all those decisions, there's all those questions, there's all those thoughts, there's all those conversations going on in the background. And that is where the significance is. When I talk with my partner manager, when Grade A talks with whoever he talks with, you know, when Barnacles talks with whoever he talks with all these people starting to, and then that's what pushes it forward. And the big thing with pushing it forward is simply like people like me saying that, frankly, the Ahref download attribute, I think could do serious damage to YouTube. So I've already built, so you guys already know, I've already built my video podcast server. It took me like, I don't know, 20 minutes. And the reason is, this is really cool. I didn't realize, so with HTML5, you know, with the Ahref, the hyperlink tag, there's actually now for HTML5 a download attribute you can put there. And so basically with that download attribute, instead of the file opening and playing like it has in the past, it just automatically downloads into your download folder. So what I can do is I've set up my nice little server cluster. So Synology last year gave me two, what was it, 18 terabyte NAS units. So they're really nice, actually. I was like, ooh, thank you, Synology. But they gave them to me, right? So I've got these two units, and I have like 16 terabytes of free space after the RAID 5 configuration that I have in high availability. So if one fails, it's an active passive scheme. So if one fails within 90 seconds, the other one is online, which really for me doesn't matter because it's a freaking download server. I mean, like, the worst thing that's gonna happen is it might break it down. Like, you know, if a couple people are downloading, it might break it. So I already have that like literally built. And then I've looked at Fios. So I have Fios coming to my house. And so Fios in my area, like right now I have 35 up, 35 down, which is frankly more than enough. All these people that want gigabit per second internet connections, 35 up, 35 down is fine. But I was looking at it and I can get 500 megabits per second up and down for about $320 per month, 360. I don't know. It's within the 300s. There's, you know, you pay that, and you pay some taxes and all that. So even let's say $400 max, 500 up and down, 24/7. I've already got the servers built, and again, 16 terabytes of free space. I think I'm only using like 6 terabytes now, which means I have massive room for growth in the future, and that's done. That is my YouTube competitor right there. All I have to do in the future is point Eli, the computer guy or whatever, towards that, and I have my system. And so for some of you guys, you might be like, well, Eli, that's stupid. Not everybody in the world is gonna want to be able to download files or whatever. But the thing for YouTube, for anybody watching at YouTube, is to realize is in order to destroy another business, you don't have to compete with everything that other business does. So like if you're looking at YouTube, right, and you're trying to kneecap YouTube, you don't try to do everything that YouTube does. You don't try to do live, you don't try to do gaming, you don't try to do everything. What you try to do is you try to do what you think is valuable. So valuable is, again, like I say, is being able to watch all of these different content creators and all that monetization. So simply having simple download servers, a ref download attribute, could actually do a sizable damage to YouTube, especially like if you could pull like think about it, like if Grade A or High 8 everything or any of these big YouTubers, if you thought about it, you don't need to take everybody either. 1,000 of the big YouTubers, and they'd be sucking wind in a heartbeat. And you're like, oh yeah, so you're threatening YouTube. But no, what I'm trying to say though is if these conversations are going on in the background about what is the real alternative to YouTube, this gets back to YouTube. And then YouTube starts to think about it, and they go, what the hell is Eli, the computer guy, talking about this Ahref download? That's the stupidest thing in the world. And then there's like some person in the meeting that goes, so he's saying he can build a server and everybody can download his videos, and then they can all watch those videos locally. Yeah, that actually, that sounds like a pretty good idea. And again, and here's the thing to think about, like something like that, there's no intellectual property involved. There's no IP. This isn't like something like somebody could come back later and like sue you for, because it's basically, it's using PHP and it's using a particular function in PHP to list all the files in a folder. And then when it lists all the files in the folder, then basically writes those out with the hyperlink for downloading. So there's no even IP. It's not even like, it's like, well, Eli, you might want to shut up about that, because if they learn how you do it, they might sue your ass. It's like, how are you going to sue me over a PHP function? It's like a built-in PHP function to print out hyperlink commands. Right? And so the people like YouTube, like, again, all these conversations, you got to think about that. Again, you guys all think about that what's important is the conversations that you know about. You know, the conversations that are going in front of your face. The important conversations are all the conversations you don't know about. And so again, you start having people at YouTube, and they go, you know what? We may actually have to worry about a freaking download attribute as our competition. And then the question becomes, well, how do we make sure that we don't get tanked because people realize that a PHP function with href download attribute tanks us, and they go, well, people like Eli the computer guy and people like all these other people are saying the big thing that they really want out of YouTube is to be more of a media company. That's the way that we can keep them here. And they go, fuck, you don't really want to be that kind of media company. The people start saying, hey, you know what? Storage on the internet is becoming dirt cheap. If people actually listen to Eli and take, like, again, 10 minutes, you have a web folder, you use a list PHP function with this, you can build your own video download server, and like I say, like, it can be done in like 30 minutes, and then all you have to do is upload get the files to the folder anyway. And they start thinking, you know what? Yeah, I guess we are gonna have to actually start acting like a fucking media company. And then things start getting pushed forward. So what I would argue with the hashtag movement is it's these conversations a lot of you guys don't necessarily know that are going on. Like, and that's one of the things that I brought up. I got a lot of hate for the I don't support hashtag WTFU video. A lot of hate. And most of the hate came from jackasses I don't even want on my channel. Like, these are not people I want as subscribers. These are not people that would stick around. These are not people that, I just did a video I'm literally uploading right now, network convergence introduction. These are not people that are going to stick around for network convergence introduction. But they're all like, wow, that's ridiculous, Eli. It's ridiculous, the idea that you would upload a video to YouTube and that you wouldn't want everybody to watch it. And it's like, no. I think that's one thing, like, some people don't understand, is like YouTube is actually becoming its own weird form of communication. And one of the things I think a lot of people don't realize is that there's communication within the communication. Like even with the videos that I'm doing now. So I've done like 3 or 4 videos, and there's a couple of people from YouTube that I've been having conversations with. So these videos are actually like addendums or appendices to the conversations that we've had. So when you look at this video, you are thinking Eli the computer guy is creating a vlog for everybody on YouTube to potentially see. And to one degree, it is that, because this particular vlog. But again, on another degree, I'm actually continuing multiple conversations that I've been having with people to explain the worldview. And that's where, like, with the whole hashtag WTFU thing comes, is it is this conversation. So you have Doug Walker. He brings up the thing originally. I do the thing. I don't support it. Some other people call me a fart bubble. Other people say, well, I see the point you have. How can we deal with this? Then other people actually look at Channel Awesome and go, what the hell are you talking about? Fair use. Again, Channel Awesome. Fair use. You can't handle fair use. I would laugh my ass off. You know what I would find really ironic is if Doug Walker actually had to deal with real fair use. I think if he actually had to do with real fair use, he would be so screwed. He would be screwed into bankruptcy. And I know that sounds really mean to say, but it's really kind of true, right? But it's like I say, it's this conversation. It's like, when I did the videos before about leaving YouTube. And again, a lot of people think, oh, that's just about us. But what was really curious about that leaving YouTube is, so I have friends that work in Google. Obviously, I have friends in the tech world. friends who work in Google. And so my wife was actually talking to one of her longtime friends, and her friend's husband works at Google, but like works in Google in like Europe, like, right? And it was funny because my wife was talking to her and she was like, oh yeah, they were talking about Eli today at the office. And I was like, what? Why are they talking about me in Europe? Why is Google talking about me in Europe? I understand if they're talking about me back in San Jose, but, and again, that's the thing, is like, there's all this communication that's going on. And so as far as movements and all that kind of stuff goes, like I said, I don't think it's valuable in the ways that people think it's valuable, as in the more retweets, a video gets, the more valuable it is. It's not really that. It's more along the lines of how popular is a person, how much people generally listen. And then, when a video comes out, when they start screaming about something, how rational are they about it? And then how does that go up their weird little chain of command and all that kind of stuff? And so that's the thing, like I say. So as far as the hashtag movements go, content creators, we're all having conversations amongst ourselves. The hashtag videos are actually are these weird conversations. Again, like I say, Doug Walker says something, and then I say something, and then Becky Boop says something, and then Grade A says something, and then it's like, and we're all kind of, I don't know what it's like. What I think about it is, I don't know if you guys ever watched Star Trek The Next Generation, which I'm sure like everybody here did, because you're all geeks, right? Who the hell hasn't seen Star Trek TNG? But I remember, that's what I've been thinking about with the modern world, with kind of like the hive mind and all that, is so Star Trek, they pull into this, they pull into their ship, their dry dock or whatever. I guess it's not a dry dock if it's spaceship or whatever. They pull into dry dock, and the Enterprise is going to get its standard repairs. And then when they pull in, there's these weird little short aliens. And I remember these guys from being a kid. Like, I haven't actually seen this TV show for a long time, and I really like the idea, like even way back. Like, I like this idea so much, I remember it now. But there's these weird little short little aliens. And then when they talk at like light speed. And they talk like so fast, like the translators can't keep up, right? Because it's not that the translator doesn't understand what they're saying, but they're like literally saying so fast. It's like the Micro Machine guy, like, 10x. And so like Picard and all that are talking about these weird little aliens. And what it is they talk really fast, but then they have little recording mechanisms that they have secured to their bodies. And so when they talk at each other, they then only listen to the information that's actually pertinent. So basically somebody could like say an entire book to them, and then as they're doing something, and then they need that little bit of information, that little data recorder that they have can pull that and tell them what they need to know. And so that's where I kind of think, like with YouTube communication, is kind of one of those things that's going on, is we're having all of these kind of like weird real-time, like near real-time asynchronous conversations. And that's kind of what's going on, right? And it sounds weird, but it is. It's like this weird, like, like I say, like Doug Walker, and then I do, and then like Gaming Wildlife, and you don't really think of like, you're like, well, Gaming Wildlife, they do the parody, but like Gaming Wildlife was like kind of like translating what Susan Wojcicki said to us, like, well, anyway, they do a parody, and it's like, kind of get what I'm saying? So yeah. That is kind of my thought with the whole hashtag. Whew, it's getting windy again. The hashtag movement. Let's see if I'm doing. I don't know. How can I walk backwards? Maybe if I walk backwards, can I not kill myself this way? So, anyways, that doesn't really work. But anyway, so that's the whole idea with the whole whether or not the hashtag movement works. Is yes, I would argue many times it does, but not for the reasons that you think it does. Not because all of our little subscribers lose our mind. It's other stuff that's going on. But yeah, that is my thought, and that's my thought. So it's getting windy. We're very windy, so I won't bother you with all the wind. That is my thought for today. Those are my thoughts. But yeah, so there we are. Anyways, so I will close out then. I will be doing spinning in the morning, unless I am not doing spinning. And talk to you guys tomorrow.